So here I will Kirk as he discussed the policy of the Republican together with that of the Democrat with a college student. Of course, it was actually a heated, debate. I decided to share some of those things, with you. So without any further ado, let's get down to this video and check this out.
Thank you.
Charlie, you've stated that you're not into criminalizing the mother for an abortion. Why is that? Like, how can we make a law that has no consequences?
Well, there's two parts of this, right? The first of which is no person should advocate for retroactive enforcement of something that was once legal to then make illegal. We can agree with that, right?
Right.
No matter what the law is. You cannot claw back. For example, if all of a sudden the government says you can't have a public assembly like this and that is effective tomorrow, they can't go back today and put us all in prison, right? So that's number one, retroactive. Number two, my heart goes out to women that have abortions.
Right.
Because they're lied to and manipulated. And it's based on one very simple medical principle, the lack of informed consent. I do not believe women, largely when they get abortions, know what they're doing. They're not given ultrasounds for their baby. They're not informed of the gruesome and graphic details surrounding their procedure. Instead, the justice system should be focused on the abortionists that are actually doing that procedure. Does that make sense?
I mean, I guess, but the person also committing the crime, like killing her baby, I feel like should also be held responsible. Like, how can we ban abortions and the mom just still be let go?
Yeah, we're just not going to agree. I just don't. First of all, she's not doing the act. Many times she's being forced into that situation by someone paying for that abortion, such as someone that she might have had a relationship with, or even in terrible pimps also do it as well. But we're not going to agree because I think our posture on abortion should be compassion for the women that have abortions and get abortions, and justice for the industry that lies to them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone shuffle around. Okay, hi, I'm Rachel. Already off the bat, I do not agree with a lot of politically what any of you have to say, but I'm a part of Bridge Pittsburgh, which is an organization that believes in having civil discussion without yelling at each other. So I actually have some friends from Turning Point back there, even though I am a registered Democrat. So what's up, Jesse?
That's cool. I like that,
my question is actually for you, Vivek. First off, thanks for coming. Second, as a person of color, and as someone of Indian descent, does it offend you whenever there's comments made about Kamala and some racial insensitivities on that? Does that offend you in any way or hurt you, or does that drive you to still try to be representative of your party, even when those comments are made by your party?
Give me a specific comment.
Okay, well, for example, the recent thing that was, if Kamala got elected, the White House would smell like curry. Does that offend you in any way, or is that just like drive for you to?
For the record, Trump did not say that.
No, Donald Trump did not say that. But it was still implied as there's a presidential election needs to happen.
I'm a pretty thick-skinned guy. I can tell the difference between somebody who has an earnest joke and the person who actually happens to say that. I happen to know doesn't have ill will towards Indian people. But if you're going to joke, my only rule is you better apply it 360 degrees. Okay, you can't apply it selectively. Here's actually my view on this: is a lot of Indian Americans across the country actually have been somewhat disappointed for a long time about Kamala Harris's willingness to engage with and listen to a lot of the concerns even of the Indian American community. I'll tell you what one of them is relating to merit in getting into college, merit in getting into jobs without regard to your skin color or your discrimination. I think most people want that better life for their kids. And so I think most people think about that regardless of their skin color, but if you're thinking about actual concerns of the Indian American community, that's probably very high on the list, and Kamala Harris is failing to embody that. Now, for me, my own view is, let me level with you a little bit. I actually think we have seen an unusual level, like this is in the last year, okay? And it's strange. A small uptick in anti-black and anti-Hispanic racism in the country. And I would have never thought we were going to see it. Here's why I think we've seen it. I think we've seen it as a reactionary response to the anti-racist movement for the last 10 years, because there's no better way to foster racial animus than to take something else away from someone based on their skin color. So when you say you don't get that federal aid, or you don't get that seat in college, or you don't get that job because of your skin color, you're going to have a negative attitude towards the person who was favored because of their race.
Okay.
And this is what's going on in Springfield, too, by the way, when I'm visiting tomorrow.
Lord.
No, in a certain sense, if you're going to put 20,000 people who are not going to be able to integrate into a community, into that community, I sympathize with people who are suffering as a consequence of that. That's necessarily going to spawn a reactionary response.
I did agree with you on that when you said that earlier.
But then you can't blame the reactionary response and say they're responsible for the division. I think it's a lot of those policies that created that division in the first place. And bluntly, I do put a lot of that at the feet of Kamala Harris and the movement that she represents. So that's where I'm at on it. Thank you for the question.
yeah.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
This is a very interesting one, listening to Charlie Kirk debating these college students concerning some of the policy of Democrats, and then when it comes to trans right, and then some of the policy that the Republican Party are making. Now, when you listen, in a sense, to Charlie Kirk, he is not saying that the Democrats, in a sense, as a party, are fully against the abortion right, but then they push it to state for state to be able to decide whatever that is good for their people. But nevertheless, whatever, in a sense, each of those respective, in a sense, constituency decide to choose for their people, then it is just up to them, instead of it, in a sense, to be banned, in a sense, at national or at the federal level. And then when we look at the issue of this trans right and then all that, well, at least, in a sense, for her, at least she's up to 18 years, so she can be able to decide whosoever, in a sense, she wants to get married, just like how it was being explained to her. But you going ahead to indoctrinate some of these students, in a sense, or some of these children who are young and not up to 18, this is what, in a sense, conservative, in a sense, are against, in a sense, some of these things. They just wanted to at least allow these children, you don't have to bring these things, in a sense, to our institution. And if you look at it, in a sense, critically, it would be better like that. At least get into the 18 and then decide for yourself, right? As a matter of fact, in our even respective home, there are people that are even still be up to 18, but then you don't still have the right, in a sense, to even still decide, in a sense, for yourself. But nevertheless, they say reach 18 years, then decide whatever gender you decide that you want to be. But then if you are to look at it based on the religious, in a sense, aspect of it as a Christian, then you know that, in a sense, God have already created us what? Both male and female. This is already stated, in a sense, in Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. God have already what? Created us male and female. And then chapter 2 went on to emphasize on what God used. God created us out of the dust, and he breathed it through the nursery of a man, and then it becomes what? A living. So God have already decided whatever gender we should be. But then this is a situation whereby, in a sense, society tends to decide whatever they want to decide in the name of, in a sense, freedom and democracy, and then all those things, which some of these things, in a sense, is not really, in a sense, helping us, because at this point in time, you understand, the human right or the freedom we are talking about, in a sense, is now a threat to national security. How is it a threat to national security? Because it's now going against, in a sense, the values and the fundamentals in which the country itself, in a sense, was built in. Because if we says that, in a sense, we follow what God say and is being built, in a sense, on a Christian's value, then this is not what, in a sense, the Christian value, in a sense, is talking about. Okay, but nevertheless, Democrat now feels like, okay, be 18 years and decide whatever. So what is now bad, in a sense, about it? And then that's the reason why I see when some of these couple of the questions, in a sense, we have been asking, in a sense, to the lady, she could not able to respond to some of them. Why? Because she was so confused, and they're talking about his 30 years and then discussing to them, and then some of them, they are not well prepared, forgetting the fact that you still be in the school and the professors to talk to, and whatever professor may be talking to me, probably are not aware of it, right? But then he still speak to you, in a sense, anyway. So you don't look at that and says that because you are too young, then therefore they cannot be able to speak to you. That's why he says that, well, he's speaking to people who are what, up to 18 years, and because they feel that, of course, that they want to dialogue with him, and then that's why they come over to be able to speak to him. So it was just up to him. He or she was not forced. She decided, in a sense, to go there, right, to come and debate him. Then why are you now making it look like, okay, you are a victim of it? when you come to debate and then you lose the debate, and then now you are now crying as if you're being forced. Nobody was forced. She was not forced. She decided, you understand, to come. And then Charlie is just saying whatever he thinks, you understand, he is right, you understand, for American people, and then also for the Republican, you understand, party, you understand, itself. But then I know that a lot of you have their own opinion concerning this, and I wanted to drop it at the comment section, and may God bless you as you do so. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, show like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Goodbye.